The enigmatic and eccentric William Gillette made his living and his fortune in the most public of professions, the theater. Indeed, he was so wealthy that he was able to build a castle on the hills overlooking the Connecticut River. He was among the best of his time at what he did, and he left an impact still felt and acknowledged throughout the Western world nearly a century after his death. Gillette counted among his friends Albert Einstein, Arthur Conan Doyle, and Alexander Woollcott, as well as neighbors Mark Twain and Harriet Beecher Stowe. Born William Hooker Gillette in Hartford, Connecticut in 1852, Gillette was a prolific actor, writer, and director, and developed or invented a number of theatrical innovations for modern theater, some of which would later be utilized in the cinema. He helped boost the careers of some of our country's most distinguished actors of the 20th century, such as Helen Hayes, Ethel Barrymore, and Charlie Chaplin. He was a father figure to Orson Welles and John Houseman, and single-handedly created the public image of the legendary sleuth Sherlock Holmes. He wrote and starred in Held by the Enemy and Secret Service, widely regarded as two of the most important Civil War dramas ever created. Born in the era of the melodrama, Gillette's approach to acting was revolutionary in that he virtually disappeared into a part, feeling that it was not enough to learn the lines, an actor must place himself in the mental and emotional position of the character. This approach, known as the illusion of the first time, predates Stanislavski's acting style known as method acting. This style was no more evident than in his portrayal of Sherlock Holmes, a character he first brought to the stage and portrayed in more than 1,300 performances both here and in Europe.
I refer to the case I have labored over for nearly 14 months. The case of Professor Moriarty. Yes, Watson, Professor Moriarty, the Napoleon of crime. By 10 o'clock tomorrow night, the time will be ripe for his arrest, and then the criminal trial of the century. It is then that he will do me the honor of turning every resource of his criminal organization to the one purpose of my destruction. It's perfectly delightful. My whole life has been spent in a series of events to escape the commonplace of existence, and who should arrive to aid me in that endeavor but Moriarty? But come, Watson, we have much to do.
Once after a performance, the actress Helen Hayes remarked, "I saw for the first time a combination of presence and dimension, substance and shadow. His instincts never deceived him. I was never again to see such timing as this man had. It was eerie." The image and mannerisms, and to a great extent the personality of Sherlock Holmes, were creations not of Arthur Conan Doyle, or even for that matter Basil Rathbone, but rather William Gillette. The deerstalker cap and the calabash pipe, as well as four of the most well-known words in the English language, elementary, my dear Watson, all creations of Gillette. From his revolutionary approach to acting, his prolific career as a director and playwright, and his innovations in the theater, William Gillette was a towering figure in an era of towering figures, and remains one of the most talented and fascinating personalities in American theater.